Welcome back. Welcome back on another session of technical mathematics where we are still looking at functions, and this is a question on function from November 2022, Eastern Cape. Now, question number 4, that is the question that we are going to be dealing with now. It says, given the function f defined by f of x that is equals to 2 in bracket x minus 3 close bracket all square minus what, minus 8. Now here, because there is a square here at the end here, we know that we are dealing with a parabola. Because of the square outside there, we are dealing with parabola. Then as far as the parabola is concerned, parabola, it has two distinctive standard equation. The first standard equation, it says f of x that is equal to a in bracket x plus and minus p close bracket all square plus and minus q. This we call it the standard equation of a parabola in a turning point form. This is called the standard equation of a parabola in the turning point form because in this equation, the coordinate of the turning point are already being given to us. We don't have to calculate for those coordinates. Now, the p here, any value that is here inside the bracket, it is the x coordinate of the turning point. And its equation, it is x that is equal to negative p. Then whatever value that is here, you are going to substitute here. This gives us the x coordinate of the turning point. That is our x coordinate of the TP. And the same x value here that we are going to have here, it is also the axis of symmetry. It is also the axis of symmetry. This is an equation for the x coordinate of the turning point if the equation of the parabola it is given in this way. Then the y coordinate, it will be y that is equal to the q value. Then that's why it is called the standard equation of the parabola in a turning point form, because the p value here, it is the x coordinate of the turning point, and the q value here, it is the y coordinate of the turning point. Then parameter a, any value that is here before the bracket, it tells us about the shape. It gives us the shape of the parabola. If the value of a here, it is a positive number, then we are going to have a parabola that is face upwards. Sorry about that. If the value of a that is given to us, it is a positive number, we are going to have a parabola that is facing upwards. But if the value of a that is given here, it's a negative number, any negative number, whether a fraction, whether a whole number, we are going to have a parabola that is facing downwards. That is the shape of the parabola. We have two shapes: parabola that is facing upwards if the value of a is a positive number, and the parabola that is facing downwards if the value of a is a negative number. Now here we have the standard equation of a parabola in a quadratic form. That's why we have ax squared plus bx plus what, plus c. Then if the equation of the parabola it is given in this way, it means we are required to find the coordinates of the turning points. Then if the standard equation it is given in this way, to find the turning point, there is a formula in the formula sheet that says x is equal to negative b all over 2a. This equation, it gives us the x coordinate. The x coordinate of the turning point. Then after getting the x coordinate of the turning point, you are going to substitute that x coordinate back into this equation to find its y coordinate. Then remember, the x that we are going to get here is the solution. After substituting the value of b, the coefficient of x, after substituting the value of a, the coefficient of x squared here, let's say we get -1 as the value of x equals -1 as the x coordinate of the turning point. Then x equals 1 is the x coordinate of the turning point, and the same value here, it represents the axis of what? Of symmetry of the parabola. I hope that is clear. These are the two distinctive equations, standard equation of the parabola that you are going to encounter or be given. Therefore, you must know which one. It is the standard equation of a parabola in the quadratic form. This is a quadratic form. Then there's the standard equation of the parabola in the turning point form, because the coordinate of the turning point are already been given to us. Now we are going to indulge the questions. That is what I wanted to clarify before we start with the question that we have in this regard. 4.1. Now, already from here, we understand that this is the standard equation of a parabola in a turning point form. It means the turning points here are already been given to us. As the P, we have the P here. And as the Q here, and we have the Q given to us. Then the first question, 4.1, it says, write down the coordinate of the turning point of F. Then to find the x coordinate, this equation, it is always x, that is equal to negative P. Now the value of P, here it is. The value of P that we have here it is. Without that square. That -3 that you see there, it's a value of what? Of P. It means where I see P here, I'm going to write its value and its respective sign. Then that is going to give us x, that is equal to the negative that we see here. And the value of P from this equation is already been negative. Therefore, we are going to have a bracket -3. Then x, it will be equal to, then negative, it is going to give us a +3. That is the x coordinate of the turning point. Then to find the y coordinate of the turning point, we are going to say y is equal to the q value and its respective sign. Therefore, y, it will be equal to, then the value of q that we have there, here it is going to be -8. Then 1 mark here for the x coordinate and 1 mark here for the y coordinate of the turning point. And also here is the TP, the y coordinate of the turning point. That is that there. Then 4.2, then determine the y-intercept of F. Then we know for us to find the y-intercept, in this case, which is the y-int, we call it the y-int, which is the y-intercept, then always we let x to be equal to 0. Remember what I said from our previous encounter, from our previous lesson, that if you are looking for the y-intercept, in a place of an f of x there, you can write the y, because f of x and the y, they are exactly the same. They are exactly the same to each other. Then I'm going to write this equation of f of x, but in a place of f of x, I'm going to write the y there. Y, that is equal to, in bracket, y is equal to 2 in bracket. Remember what I said? I said where I see the x here, I'm going to write the 0. Then after the bracket there, I have an x. In a place of an x, I'm writing a 0. Minus what? -3. Close bracket. Sorry about that. Close bracket. All square. Minus what? -8. Then we see numbers only here. We can just use our calculators to find the y-intercept. Then y is equal to, let us just press our calculator, 2 in bracket 0 minus 3 all square -8. Then the y-intercept for this particular question, question, it will be equal to 10 there. Then how do we award the mark? 1 mark for substituting 0 where you see the x, and 1 mark for the value of what? Of y there. Y-intercept to be +10. Mark our location there, 2 marks there. Then 4.3. It says determine the x-intercept of f. Then for the x-int, which is the x-int, we let y to be equals to 0. What is our y in this regard? The y in this regard, it will be f of x. Where we see f of x there, we are going to write the 0 there because y and f of x are exactly the same. Then where I see f of x, write the 0 there. That is equal to 2 in bracket x minus 3 all square minus what? Minus 8. Now, what does this square means if I have x minus 3? The square says this bracket, you must repeat it twice. Then we still maintain the 0 here. That is equal to 2 first bracket x minus 3 second bracket x minus 3. Sorry about that. We should have an x here. X minus 3 minus 8. Now remember, the 2 is multiplying with this brackets here. Then we still maintain 0. That is equal to 2. Then let me open the bracket. I'm going to apply the FOIL method here. X multiplied by x is going to give us x squared. Then positive x multiplied by negative 3. Remember, if you multiply a positive and a negative, negative always wins. Then we have a negative that always wins. Then x multiplied by 3, it gives us positive 3, negative 3x. Then we come here. Negative 3 multiplied by positive x. When you multiply a positive and a negative, negative always wins. Then x multiplied by 3, it gives us 3x. Then negative multiplied by negative, you can have a negative. When you multiply a negative with a negative, then it's going to give us a positive. Then 3 multiplied by 3 is going to give us positive 9. Close bracket, negative 8. Then let us simplify further. Then 0 is equal to 2 in bracket. The only term we have with a square is this term. We keep it as it is. Here is x squared. Now here we have a term with an x, and we also have a term with an x here. It means these two terms are now classified to be like terms. Then before, since well they are like terms here, you check the sign. The first like term, it has a negative. The second like term, it has the negative. The sign are exactly the same. If the sign are the same, you keep the sign. Then you add the 3 plus a 3, it gives us what? The 6. Since well we have the two x's here, we keep only one x. Here it's one x here. Then we have a positive 9. Minus what? Minus 8. Now let us multiply this by 2 here. Multiply everything by 2 there. We still have a 0. That is equal to, then 2 multiplied by positive x squared, it gives us positive 2x squared. Then 2 multiplied by negative 6x, it gives us negative 12x. Then 2 multiplied by positive 9, it gives us positive 18. Minus what? Minus 8. Minus a positive 18. There should be a 1 here. Then 0 is equal to 2x squared minus 12x. Now these two are numbers, they are like term. 18 it has a positive sign, 8 it has a negative sign. The sign are not the same. We take the sign of the bigger number. The bigger number, it has a positive sign. Then after that we subtract. 18 minus an 8, we are left with what? The 10. Then from here, we are going to use the quadratic formula because we have a quadratic what? Equation. Then the quadratic formula says x, because we are looking for x, is equal to negative b plus and minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. Then everything divided by 2a. Then x is equal to negative that came with the formula is the same negative. Then the value of b that we have here is negative. The value of b, since well it's a negative, we open a bracket, negative 12 plus and minus the square root. It says b squared. Here is the same value of b. open bracket, negative 12, all what? All square, minus 4. Then the value of A is going to be positive 2. Here is the value of A, positive 2. And the value of C, positive 10. Then everything else all divided by 2, multiplied by the value of A, which is in this case 2. Then X is, it will be equal to, or X, it will be equal to. Now let us use our calculator to find those distinctive solutions of X. Negative into negative 12 plus first negative 12 all square minus 4 into the value of A 2 and the value of C 10 into 2 multiplied by 2. The first solution of X, or the first X-intercept, it is positive 5. And we go back where we have a plus, put a minus there. And the value of another X here, the X-intercept, it's a 1. X equals to 5 and X equals to 1. What is happening now? I don't know. Then X equals to 1 and X equals to 5. Those are the two values of X. Let us see the mark allocation there. Mark allocation, 4 marks there. How do we allocate that 4 marks? 1 mark for 0, 1 mark for standard form, 1 mark for the quadratic formula, and 1 mark for these two distinctive. What is happening now? These two distinctive solutions of X that we have here, and 1 mark here. 4 marks there. Then 4.4, it says sketch the graph of F on the answer sheet provided at the end of the question paper, clearly indicating the intercept with the axis and the turning point and the coordinate of the turning point. Mark allocation there, 4 marks there. Then let us sketch there. We have y of 10. We have turning point 3, negative 8. And we have 5 and 1 there. Let us sketch 4.4. Is it 4.4? Let me check there. Yes, 4.4. We are sketching there. Actually, I don't know what is happening with me at this point in time, but we are going to sketch nonetheless, regardless of how it appears. What is important is the content. On the x-axis, 0 here, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5. Then we are going to have a 1, positive 2, positive 3, positive 4, and positive 5. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. Sorry about that. Negative 5. Then let us go down here so that we have a 2 4 6 8 10. 2 4 6 8 10. We have positive 2, positive 4, positive 6, positive 8, positive 10, negative 2, negative 4, negative 6, negative 8, and negative 10. Now let us check our points there. The turning point, it says on the x let us go to positive 3, and on the y we go to negative 8. 3 on the x, negative 8 on the y. Three on the x, we are here, and negative 8 on the y. 3 on the x and negative 8 on the y. We are here. That is our turning point, TP. Then what are the x-intercepts here? X equals to 5 and x equals to 1. X equals to 5. On the x-axis, here is our x-axis. The first x-intercept, x equals to 5 and x equals to 1. Then the y coordinate, there it is, to be positive 10. We go to positive 10 on the y. Here is our y, positive 10, here it is. The value of a is a positive number. We are going to have a parabola that is facing upwards. What is important is the content. I don't have to have a nice sketch here. What is important is the content that I'm delivering to you. We go upwards. We come here and we pass through there. That is your parabola there. 4 marks there. I think it's 4 marks. 4 marks there. Then 4.5, it says write the range of f. 4.5, we are required to write the range. Then the range, we check the y is here. We see on the y that our parabola start here. This is where the parabola start. What is the y here? The y here is negative 8. That's where the parabola starts. When we speak of the range, is where give us the y values for which the parabola starts from the lowest to the from the smallest to the biggest. Then from the smallest of the parabolas here is on the negative side. Then from the smallest, from the below here until upwards there. Then our smallest value here, it will be the turning point. The y here is negative 8. Then we are talking to the range. Y is an element. Is our graph defined here in this regard? Yes, our graph, it exists. We have a graph here. Since when the graph is defined there, we use the square bracket, negative 8. Sorry, not negative infinity, but negative 8. Negative 8. This is where our graph starts to be defined. It starts to exist. Now, our graph here going from negative 8. Remember, this graph here, it goes up here forever. It goes up here forever. Therefore, on the positive side of the y-axis here, the graph, it goes here forever. It goes there forever. Then it goes towards the biggest of the biggest number. We call it what? Infinity. Then that is the infinity. We don't know what infinity is. We use the round bracket. If you don't want it this way, we can say an or. Then from here, this is where the graph starts. This is where the graph starts. From there, negative 7, negative 6, negative 5, negative 4. All these numbers going upwards, they are greater than what? They are greater than negative 8. Then we can say y, it must be greater than or equal to. Why are we using equal to? Because at negative 8, the graph is defined. Y must be greater than or equal to negative 8 there. Negative 8. Negative 8 there. It's either you write this part or you write this part. They are exactly the same. Then the last question. Determine the coordinate of the turning point of f of h that result from shifting f 2 units vertically up. Now, the up and down movement of the parabola, it only affects the q value. Remember, the p value is horizontal, from the left to the right, from the left to the right, from the left to the right. Then up and down vertically, that is the q value. The q value shifts the parabola up and down. Then it says it shifts 2 units up. Then since well it's up here, from the existing value of q, we are just going to add what? The 2 here. Then that is going to give us h of x, that is equal to 2 in bracket x minus 3 all what? All square. Then when you add a 2 to negative 8 here, we are left with negative what? Negative 6. Then TP, the new coordinate will be positive 3, which is the same one. Now the y coordinate there, it will be negative what? Negative 6 there. 2 marks there. That is 4.6. 2 marks there. That is that about question number 4. 15 marks allocated to this question. I hope everything it is clear, and I hope everything it is clear in this regard. Thank you so much.